Imagine this: you are browsing the news, and yet another major data breach has made the headlines. It seems like hackers are always one step ahead, and everyone from small startups to huge corporations is struggling to keep up. That's when I, the Byte Guardian, step in, one of the people tasked with defending against these unseen threats. When I first started out, I thought cybersecurity was all about flashy hacks and quick fixes, like in the movies. But I quickly realized it's a field that demands both patience and resilience. It's a journey, not a sprint. Today, I want to take you through some of the most important lessons I've learned on my own cybersecurity path, the traits and the grit it takes to succeed. The reality of breaking into cybersecurity. When I first got interested in cybersecurity, I remember thinking it would be straightforward: get a certification, apply for a job, and dive in. But it wasn't that simple. A friend of mine, Alex, had a similar thought. He was eager, determined, and a little overconfident, just like me. But here's the thing about cybersecurity: it's not a field where you can skip the basics. Alex started out applying for entry-level cybersecurity roles, but he hit a wall. Employers were looking for something he didn't have: practical IT experience. So, he took a step back and joined an IT help desk. Every day, he learned a little more about how computers actually work, how networks connect, and how software communicates. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was like learning the language of technology. Fast forward a few years, and Alex was finally ready to make the move to cybersecurity. That foundational knowledge he gained in IT? It's what made him a strong candidate. Cybersecurity isn't just about knowing threats, it's about understanding the very systems you're trying to protect. And that takes time. The power of practical knowledge. Once I started working in cybersecurity, I quickly learned that book knowledge could only take me so far. I needed hands-on experience, to see how things fit together in real life. I remember my first big security incident at work. We'd flagged a laptop for unusual activity, and I was supposed to lead the investigation. My mind raced with questions: how does this laptop connect to our network? What kind of data does it access? What security measures do we have in place for it? To protect that laptop, I couldn't just guess. I had to know the ins and outs of our systems. I spent hours learning about firewalls, testing security protocols, and watching how data flowed through different parts of our network. Every mistake was a lesson, every success was a step forward. That's the reality of cybersecurity: you don't just learn it once. You keep learning, day in and day out. Choosing a path in cybersecurity. One of the things I love about cybersecurity is that there's no single path. You don't have to be a hacker, there are many roles you can pursue. Take my friend Sarah, for example. Sarah started as a security analyst on the Blue Team, which is all about defending systems. Every day, she monitored alerts, analyzed logs, and investigated suspicious activity. Sarah once told me about a particularly tough day where alerts were popping up left and right. Every alert had the potential to be a real threat, and every decision mattered. In those moments, cybersecurity isn't just a job, it's a battle. Sarah didn't start as a master analyst, she learned through experience, one alert at a time. And then there are the red team members, who do the opposite: they test systems by trying to break into them. Each team plays a vital role in keeping organizations secure, but the skills and mindset for each can be quite different. Cybersecurity has room for different strengths, whether you love defending systems or testing their limits. Facing modern cyber threats. Fast forward to 2024, and cybersecurity threats are more complex than ever. It's no longer just about traditional malware, we're dealing with AI-powered scams, deepfakes, and phishing schemes that are almost impossible to spot. I'll never forget a case we had with a sophisticated phishing attack. My colleague Mike received an urgent voicemail from someone posing as an executive. The voice was eerily convincing, asking for sensitive information, and the timing seemed perfect. But something felt off. When Mike investigated, he found out it was a scam. A voice mimicking tool had been used to create that voicemail. Without a thorough verification process, this could have led to a serious breach. That's the level of sophistication we're dealing with now. And as the threats get smarter, we have to get even smarter. Phishing attacks, in particular, are always evolving. A single wrong click can cost an entire organization. It's a constant reminder that cybersecurity isn't just about fighting hackers, it's about staying one step ahead of every trick they might throw at us. The traits that drive success in cybersecurity. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the best cybersecurity professionals are endlessly curious. I once worked with a guy who would spend his evenings reading up on recent breaches and testing out defenses. To most people, it seemed like overkill. But for him, it was a passion. He wanted to understand every attack, every strategy, and every solution. When a major retailer suffered a breach, he dove deep, analyzing every step the attackers took. It was this drive, this relentless curiosity, that made him great at what he did. Cybersecurity is like an endless puzzle, and if you have that urge to keep learning, to keep digging, you're halfway there. Building technical skills and understanding systems. One of the best lessons I learned early on was that technical skills are more than just lines of code. It's about understanding how different security systems interact. In my early days, I remember working on securing a new batch of laptops for our organization. I had to decide on the right tools and configurations to keep them secure. Should we go with a cloud solution or an on-premise system? How should we configure our firewalls? I didn't have all the answers then, but over time, I tested different setups, observed how they worked, and gradually developed a deeper understanding of our entire security ecosystem. Today, I can set up automated scans, review logs, and troubleshoot issues much faster than before. The point is, cybersecurity is as much about experimentation as it is about skill. The more you work with different tools, the sharper your instincts become. Embracing hard work and dedication. Cybersecurity isn't a field you can coast through. It requires long hours, late nights, and a commitment to continuous improvement. When I was first learning, I set a schedule for myself. Every evening, I'd spend an hour studying, no matter how tired I was. I had a friend, Josh, who went through the same thing. He had no prior experience, but he knew cybersecurity was his calling. So he dove in headfirst, studying and practicing for hours every day. It was exhausting, and there were times he felt like giving up. But he kept going. Today, Josh is a lead analyst, helping guide new team members just starting out. His story reminds me that cybersecurity is a field that rewards hard work and persistence. Starting your cybersecurity journey. So, where do you start if you want to get into cybersecurity? Start with the basics. I always recommend resources like Professor Messer's free videos on A+, Security Plus, and Network Plus. They're easy to follow and cover the foundations you'll need. Alongside theory, you'll want to develop technical skills, like Python for scripting and SQL for analyzing data. You don't need to become a coder, but understanding these tools can save you a lot of time when troubleshooting security issues. In cybersecurity, every second counts, so the faster you can identify and respond to a threat, the better. Building a home lab. Finally, there's no better way to learn than by building a home lab. Think of it as your personal training ground. In my lab, I've set up virtual machines, tested different firewalls, and even simulated a few incidents. It was like creating a miniature version of the systems I work with in real life. One time, I set up a scenario where a machine was infected with malware. I watched how it behaved, then worked on isolating it and cleaning it up. It was an incredible hands-on learning experience. And when I went for interviews, my home lab was one of the things that set me apart. If you're interested, I've linked a tutorial below to help you build your own lab. Cybersecurity is a journey. It's not easy, but with curiosity, dedication, and a willingness to learn, you can make it. If this video helped you understand a bit more about what it takes, please give it a like and subscribe to Byte Guardian. Together, we'll keep learning and protecting what matters. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay secure.